You can't possibly live in East Texas and not be exposed to hot sauce. With a Tex-Mex restaurant on just about every corner, you either love it or hate it. There's such a wide variety of hot sauces, also known as salsa. We have medium, mild, and hot sauces. We have warm and cold sauces. We even have green and red sauces. My best friend Mallory and I love hot sauce. Today I would like to share with you our own little recipe that we've perfected. It is, in my opinion, the easiest, quickest way to get a restaurant-style salsa. First of all, we have the ingredients. The main ingredient is tomatoes. You can use fresh, but it's easier just to use canned. You can use whole or whatever kind you like. I have petite dice today. I have some canned jalapenos too. I personally like to use fresh better, but I didn't have any on hand, so if you like it mild, you can use mild jalapenos. You can get the hot kind, whatever you like. We have cilantro. In my opinion, this is the key ingredient because it's got that, it just gives it the Mexican restaurant taste. You can smell it and it smells like Mexican food. We've got onions, we have salt and pepper, and garlic. You have to be sure to cut the stuff right. The onions really need to go first in the blender. You need to cut them in small pieces like this or they won't get blended well and you'll have huge chunks of onion in your salsa, unless you like chunky salsa, but I like all of my stuff to be blended evenly. We put the onions in first, and then I usually put jalapenos next. If you have fresh jalapenos, you can just slice them in, slices like this. And if you want to take the seeds out, you can, or you can leave them in if you want it more spicy. But I'm going to put probably a couple of forkfuls, because when you use the canned jalapenos like this, the flavor isn't as potent as if you were going to use fresh. Okay, next I'll pour my tomatoes in. I drain a little bit of the juice out of the can so the salsa isn't really watery. You just dump them in. You can use 2 little cans like this, or you can use 1 big can. Okay. Next you have the garlic. Depending on what you like, you can use more or less garlic. It's kind of like the onions. If you use too much, it just overpowers all of the salsa. This is a garlic press. If you don't have one of these, you can just chop up your garlic like in little pieces. But if you squeeze it, it comes out. This garlic press doesn't work very good. Since it didn't all squeeze out, I'm going to have to come over here and get the garlic out. I had one of these before that worked a lot better, but this is a new one and it doesn't work as good. So, I'll get a knife and chop this up. They also have canned already minced garlic that you can buy, usually in the produce section. Might be a little bit easier than try to chop it up on your own. And next, we'll do salt and pepper. Sometimes I don't put pepper, but it just adds a little extra heat, maybe a little extra flavor. I kind of eyeball the salt. I don't put too much. After I blend it, I like to taste it and see if it needs more or less. Just put a little bit of pepper. I would probably say 1.5 teaspoons of salt to start off with, like 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Then there's cilantro. I've washed this and now I just get the little green leaves off. I mean, I've got some of the stem in there before, but it's really better just to use the green leaves. My husband doesn't like too much, but I do. Just put it in there. Like I said, I don't count. I just kind of eyeball it. Put a little bit more. Okay. I also, when I used canned jalapenos, I like to put a little bit of the juice in there because it just adds a little bit of flavor. This is important. When you blend it, you don't want to blend it too much because it will just get watery and it'll taste bad. It loses the texture of the hot sauce. So I don't do liquefy or grind or crush. I just usually regular blend it. And then I'll pulse it some to kind of get it all mixed up. Sometimes it doesn't get it right and you have to kind of get a spoon or a knife or whatever and stir it a little bit and then blend it some more. I've had bad experience when I blend it too long. It just ruins it. I'll pulse it a little bit more. And that should be good. And of course you have to taste it before you take it out of the blender in case it needs something. And I think it's good. So I'm not going to add anything else. I'm just going to leave it here for now. There you have it, my favorite recipe for hot sauce. It's such a simple, healthy snack and it's loaded with veggies. If you want it cold, you can just stick it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours or 30 minutes or however long you can wait. If you like it warm, you can just stick it in a saucepan and warm it over medium heat on the stove for a few minutes until you don't have to boil it or cook it or anything. If you just want it warm, you can just heat it until it's heated through and warm. Or you can just eat it like I do and shovel it in your mouth while it's still in the blender. I hope you enjoyed this crowd-pleasing snack. It's great for parties. You can just put it in a bowl with a big spoon and watch it disappear.